Fran Dunaway, and I'm the co-founder and CEO of TomboyX.
Hi, I'm Naomi Gonzalez, and I'm the COO and co-founder of TomboyX. Yeah, sure. So I grew up in New York City, Washington Heights. I'm first generation Cuban American, first in my family to go to college. And I always wanted to be a massage therapist growing up, and I fulfilled that dream by working on Olympic athletes out of college, working with just great athletes. And in 2004, I wound up working with the U.S. women's soccer team. We went to Greece that year, and very excited to say that they won gold. So it was an incredible experience. I learned what it takes to win, not just win, but what all the work that goes into that final incredible moment, and just the drive and dedication that it takes to see your goal through. And after finishing up with U.S. women's soccer, I opened up my own small business in massage and sold that a few years later, and then moved out to Seattle. Fran and I started TomboyX shortly thereafter.
She got tired of me complaining about the lack of shirting options in the stores, and infamously said, well, how hard can it be to start a clothing line? And so off we went.
What's your background?
I grew up I'm an Army brat. I grew up all over the U.S., spent some time in Germany, but my family is from the Deep South, Mississippi and Alabama, which is where my parents and brother still are in Mississippi. And so ended up, spent a lot of time in Missouri, and went to, got my master's degree in Missouri, and was trying to decide whether to live in the mountains in Boulder or somewhere in Florida. Came to visit the Pacific Northwest and realized I could have mountains and beach. So that was it. I've been here for, since 1987. So a long time, and I call it home. And, there's just a couple of months of the year that it's a good time to get out of here. But otherwise, the Pacific Northwest is a great place to be. Let's see. I got my master's in education. And I was actually, my first career at 25, I was an administrator of a group home. I opened the first medically fragile group home. Actually, I worked my way, I went to my master's full-time and worked full-time as a manager of a group home for, let's see if I can remember, behaviorally disabled, mentally retarded adult males is what they called it. It was aggressive males with developmental disabilities or intellectual disabilities. And so that I worked there in the evenings full-time, was a manager, and then moved to the Northwest and opened the first the group homes for medically fragile children. And at 30, I was an executive director of the agency, had 40 employees, and sold everything and went to film school. And so then I moved up to Vancouver, BC, and did their one-year certificate program, and unlicensed in producing. So that became kind of my career for the next 10 years. I freelanced, and then kind of combined my activism with my work, and became a partner in a media strategies firm. And I produced political ads for Democratic candidates and campaigns nationwide. Did some work in Uruguay, helped legalize marijuana there. So so this is career number 3. Sure, I am, how old am I? I'm 57.
I'm 43.
That seems right.
Yeah,
That seems right.
You never get to ask that anymore, you know?
She. Lesbian.
Lesbian.
Well, we met through the president of my former firm. I used to run a bi-coastal office, and she introduced us, 9 years ago, something like that. And then, and so then we dated long distance for a year, and she moved out here, and we've been married. How long have we been married? I said it was a shotgun, 2 years. It was a shotgun wedding because we were expecting a puppy. She's over here now. She's 8 years old. So.
I was a biopsych major, women's studies minor.
Oh God, sloppy.
Flannel. Comfortable.
Evolving.
I'm not sure style ever comes into it.
Tomboy, how about that? Well, it really started because I wanted a cool shirt. I prefer to wear a button-up shirt, and especially at work. I'm not that into, well, at the time, we didn't know a knit from a woven, but now I know that it's knits that I wasn't comfortable in. I prefer a woven. And so we had a hard time finding shirts that would fit my changing body as I was getting older and no longer able to do triathlons. So I could find really cool shirts in the men's department that had fun details under the collar or around the cuffs and just playful, really cool, high quality fabric. And, the men's didn't fit my body. And so we decided that that's where we would start. And we added a hidden button so it wouldn't gape open in meetings, and just created a beautiful shirt that we had 0 returns on. But we picked the name Tomboy because we thought it was cute, it was fun, it reflected kind of who we are. And we launched a Kickstarter campaign to pay for our shirts. We had a couple of colorways of the shirts. We had some polos and a knit blazer. And so we launched a Kickstarter campaign. And about a week into the Kickstarter campaign, it became very apparent to us that the name was resonating and we had an instant brand. And I think because both of us, I ended up training in Naomi on producing political ads, and so the last few years she was doing that as well. And I think because of our background in politics, we were able to recognize that there was something powerful and palpable that was going on around the brand. It was just the two of us. We weren't getting paid. So Naomi was our customer service person, and she was hearing from a lot of people that we should make boxer briefs for women. And neither of us wore I think.
I did. I used to wear like the Hanes. Hanes made this like 4-inch brief. It's like a boxer brief. And then they stopped making it. And so in my drawer, I had this tattered, 10-year-old pair of underwear that I really liked, but it was never really long enough. Like I always wanted it a little longer, but it was the closest I could get.
So yeah, so we didn't realize that no one was making boxer briefs for women, or she hadn't thought about the tattered pair. And so we started looking around, and sure enough, on Nordstrom.com, the only thing that came up when you type in women's boxer briefs was a pair of Spanx. And we were pretty sure that was not what our customer was looking for. And so we decided that we would take heed. And Naomi met this woman, Karma, at physical therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And so Karma came in and she brought in her stack of men's boxer briefs, and she told us everything that was wrong with them. And we had started working with Julie Nomi, who is still our head of product. We had contracted with her to help us, and she set out to make the most comfortable pair of boxer briefs for women. And we knew that it was important for us as a brand to be all inclusive. We didn't like the subtle shaming of the plus size category. So we decided to create them all, every style that we have, and we continue today. Every style going from extra small through 4X, and all at the same price.
So we started the idea in 2012, that summer. And it's when we started thinking about that button-down shirt. And 2011, summer of 2011. And
it was just the idea.
It was just the idea, and we were just trying to meet somebody that could even design this shirt for us and have a prototype made. And so we went far enough along that in March 2012 we incorporated, and then started working on a Kickstarter.
No, we actually bootstrapped. We bootstrapped,
yeah.
And did the samples and got the samples, and that took us about a year And then in March of 2013, we launched the Kickstarter program. And a month later, we raised $76,000 and knew we had an instant brand. So then in April of 2000, so in September of 2014 was when we introduced our first boxer brief, and we sold out in 2 weeks. We pre-sold them and sold out. And 6 months later, we had tripled our revenue and decided we needed to consider we're an underwear company now, since that seemed to be our niche. And we got accepted into an accelerator program. You had to have at least one female co-founder. It was we were in the first cohort of Merge Lane, based in Boulder, Colorado. And they took a lead. They said, you guys need to raise some money. And they took the lead on helping us raise a seed round. And so we graduated or finished that program in April of 2015. And in July, we had raised enough, had enough commitment in that round to pull some money in. So in August of 2015, we hired our first employees and we went on payroll.
We were pretty broke by then. It was cool.
We were still working. We still had full-time jobs or doing freelance, and she was still seeing clients at the house
and doing production.
Yeah. We have 12 employees now.
Yeah, we're direct to consumer only. So everything is sold online, and we do pop-up shops around the country. We go to a lot of prides around the country, and we have for the last 3 years, almost 4 years. And it's great because that's where we get to actually meet our customers and say hi, and also they get to touch and feel the product, which is a really big part. Some people want to wait until they can actually touch and feel it, so it serves that purpose for us as well. But primarily, we really love meeting everybody. It's part of why we keep, it's everything why we keep doing this is our customers. So meeting them is a big deal for us. So yeah, we sell underwear, everything from a bikini to a 9-inch boxer brief. We sell bras, soft bras, racerback bras. And we just launched swim earlier this summer, and that was just a resounding success. Sold out in a few weeks. So we're actually designing our next, right now we just did the final details on our next swim line coming out in December. Sharks. So excited. I cannot wait for these. And we also are offering loungewear as well. So some long johns and PJs that just went live.
Like moments ago?
Yeah, so it's really in the intimate apparel space.
And so activewear, bras. Yeah.
The reason why we're still married today is because we do very different things.
Yeah, I have 2 jobs. I've had 2 jobs since day one. One is to not run out of money, and 2 is not to fuck it up, and Naomi does everything else. That's how we divide it up.
Yeah.
I work more with the marketing team and fundraising and finance. I have ADD. This is probably the longest I've sat in a very long time, so I'm starting to rock. And then Naomi works very much with production, logistics, and
Fran still doesn't actually know all that I do because she can't sit around long enough to hear what it all is. So yeah, just a lot of production, the operations end of things, end of month reporting, accounting, really not the fun side of the business.
Customer service.
Yeah.
She does it all. So Julie Nomi is our head of product. She has over 30 years experience. We wouldn't be where we are without her. She came in early on. She found us, which was awesome. And we had said the week before, we need someone like this Julie Nomi, and she appeared. We've had a lot of magical moments along the journey. And then she has an assistant. We only got her an assistant last year. The 2 of them are the hardest working people in the company. They
do the job of literally 4 people.
Absolutely.
If not, maybe more.
They are workhorses. And so they do everything in product. We have a contractor quality control person. Then we have in our marketing and creative, we have a director of marketing, an associate director of marketing. We have an art director and her assistant, and they do all of our product photography, all of our photography, newsletters, all of that stuff. So they work on all of that. We have out in the warehouse is Steph, and she does our logistics and returns. She works with our warehouse to make sure that things are going smoothly, and is liaison with our factories. And then we have remotely working with us is Stephanie, and she is our customer service / HR / bookkeeper. Did I forget anyone? We've got, I got her. And then we have a few full-time contractors that include, we have a chief merchant. We're working with a CFO, COO person. And then we outsource our digital media. We outsource our SEO, and we outsource, we've got a new brand affiliate program that we've just brought in-house.
Take inspiration from life in a lot of ways and things that we've always wanted to see. Like one time, one of our friends, we were on a boat with her, and she was just talking about how much she loves octopuses, and we love octopus too. And it wound up, we just created an octopus print from that conversation. And it was fantastic. It's one of our best-selling prints. Another time we met with a lawyer in New York City, and she was wearing this polka dot dress. And I was like mostly black and white, but a few colors interspersed in between. And so we took that and we created a polka dot print out of that.
But as far as the production process, how does that whole thing, step by step?
So once we have something in mind, then we go out and we decide what kind of fabric we want it in. Do we want it in our cotton fabric? Do we want a new fabric? So like we introduced a micromodal, which is an eco-friendly fiber.
Luxury.
A lot like beech. It's made out of beechwood trees, so a bit like a bamboo, and it's fantastic. So we decided with that particular type of fabric, we wanted the colors to be more muted tones, and we brought that around. So we basically have a collection of stripes that we bring in every quarter, a new print every month or two, and new colors every month. Is how we go.
So when we figure out what the product is going to be, for example, if it's a new racerback bra, because of either customer demand or we know that that's kind of the next area, usually customer demand, that we none of these ideas are really ours. And so then we'll pick the fabric, and then Julie and Jamie will work to get the pattern made, and they'll work with different pattern makers, and then they'll get samples made. Work with the factory. We have a woman-owned factory we perfect our product with up in Canada, and then they'll send samples down, and then Julie and Jamie will bring in various size fit models all the way from extra small through 4X to make sure that the grading adjusts accordingly, and then they'll put the final tweaks on it and send it off and get a final sample from the factory. And then typically we'll do a smaller run of certain things. And then when we scale with a factory affiliated with the Canadian factory over in China. And it's owned by a couple. The woman is the CEO. We call her the CEO. And they have been over to our place twice now in the 3 years we've been working with them, or 2 years. And then we've been over to their factory. We just got back recently. So we keep a close eye. Julie is a perfectionist, and we all care very deeply about our sustainability, about fair workers getting fair wages, and the condition of the factory and the lighting and all of that. So we're very picky about who we work with, and then we go over and make sure that it's being upheld.
And like from start to finish in terms of timing and how long something takes, from the start of the idea, especially if it's a new product that we haven't ever done any work with, it can be 9 months. If we've done it before, it's anywhere from 6 to 8 to get it in. The anti-trend.
Well, no, yesterday we were holding up, where's the octopus? So we were holding up the new octopus print that we're going to have in our swim And I was holding it up full body, and it's like, is this too much octopus? And but I did think, people are wearing print on prints. I mean, so I think it could work. So we've got this really great octopus print, and
For swim.
for swim, and we were discussing whether or not to have the top and the bottom be the full print, and we decided to go ahead and do it, and that was basically because of the trend, right? Or different fabrics and that kind of thing, but not as far as like, well, we did do a fashion show in New York.
It was in Brooklyn.
Queer Fashion Week.
Queer fashion show. Our Shanna, our art director, she just totally dreamed that whole thing up and did an incredible job getting the models and then doing a collaboration with a local Seattle company that produces clear raincoats. So they wound up, the models were wearing the clear raincoats and our underwear underneath it and they just owned the runway. We opened it up, we opened the show, and it was incredible. It was really pretty awesome to see. We sponsored them every year.
And the one in Oakland. But this was the first time we did the walk. Early on, when we were hearing from people about how they were identifying with the brand and the word tomboy and the whole idea behind it, we were hearing from a lot of people that wanted to make sure that they were included. And so the beauty of picking underwear, landing on underwear, is it's that layer between who you are on the inside and how you present on the outside. So we're finding that obviously we started in the LGBTQ community because that was, I like to say, the low-hanging fruit and easy to target and, get ads out to and whatnot. And we're in the community, so it was a no-brainer. But we've always tried to be all-inclusive, and especially in some of our, it depends on our styles, but we have a large customer base that is in the plus size category. 57% of the U.S. population are size 14 and above. So we wanted to provide them some quality undergarments that are functional. So really, we have kind of three different categories. We've got our function first, our comfort first, and our status first. And so that's the three buckets of customer. Also, function first. Our function first customer are the police officers, firefighters, EMTs, and military
workers.
All the people that are wearing a uniform to work every day. People that wear scrubs. So that's our function first category, and we have a lot of customers there that when you wear loose fitting clothing, a boxer brief underneath is very much the comfortable way to go. That's who I forgot. I forgot our social media person.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, we have a social media person that is doing all of our Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. She just recently went down to the Pride from Hell. And then
it was like an airplane issue, Pride from Hell, not that Pride itself was
not the Pride, but the getting there. She got there without any tent, without any walls. Anyway, she does a lot of it. Naomi will do some reach out. She's been good about identifying customers just to call and thank, and then our customer service person spends a lot of time interacting and engaging with customers. I'll pop in once in a while, and then we love to go out and meet people in person.
Just samples that we've recently made. So you don't want to show those? These are a 2.5-inch boxer or boy short. So it's the inseam is 2.5 inch. We go down to, this is a new fabric. This is our new moisture wicking performance fabric. Dry release.
And the bikini cut. And then this is the luxury micro modal with a beautiful print on it.
6 inches.
6-inch length. And our secret sauce is the waistband. We really got that right. It's so silky soft, doesn't ride up, doesn't leave a mark. What else have we got?
I don't know if you can see. I'm just going to tilt it. There's that octopus.
Oh, we're working on a pajama. Here's a micromodal pajama top. This is a sample that we've been fitting. Look, we're working on some French terry board or shorts, which will be really fun. And we've got swim. Oh yeah, we've got new activewear bottoms. Was it?
A print. So this is the 9-inch, yep.
What are you doing?
So this is on sale right now on our website. That just came in.
Well, we're working primarily, we do a lot of advertising on Facebook and some on Google, some on Bing. We work with a digital media agency that places our ad buys, but that's probably about 20% of our revenue. And then the other comes from our emails. Emails do very well for us, and we have a lot of brand ambassador, community rep affiliates that are helping us spread the word. And our reviews speak for themselves. We have like 90% of our reviews are 4 stars or better, 4 or 5 stars. And so we're just really proud of the quality and the fit and the comfort. And that gets spread by word of mouth. So people are talking about it, and that's exciting.
We're super excited about a lot of the brand reps that we've got right now. They're just all really doing such interesting things and really changing the world. You know, what things that matter in the world, and we love having them.
I think that one of the things that was important to us when we first started, you know, this was a little project in our little 1-car garage, and seeing the opportunity that could be a good business opportunity, even though we hadn't run a business before. But that wasn't enough for us, because you know, I've been a gay rights activist, human rights activist my entire life. I started the first steering committee of the Human Rights Campaign here in Seattle with 5 other people, and have just been very active in politics my entire adult life. And so one thing that was important to us was not to just be another brand that was out to tell people how to be cool. I think that Naomi and I really enjoy people and think and accept them for who they are. And so we want to be that brand that lets you be unapologetic about who you are all day, every day. And just to feel comfortable in your own skin. So having that opportunity and that starting to resonate with people is something that we continue to be really excited and
proud of. I love seeing it every time someone posts that this is the thing that makes them feel comfortable in their own skin. And we're saying that again because that's literally that's what it is. It's that feeling empowered and feeling really good about yourself. And you know, that's a challenge for a lot of people. So if we can help with that.
And the emails that we get, the people that come by, it's just really powerful.
People say like the first time they put on our underwear, they just started crying because it's the first time they could feel like it was the right thing for them underneath what they're all wearing.
That's the most successful.
That is right. We're literally, we're still standing. That's truly the biggest success, because
the company and us.
Yeah. How long it takes to manufacture something. We would produce political ads from start to finish in what, 2-3 days?
Well, my record is 24 hours.
True. Yeah. But,
including a flight to Montana.
But who's bragging? Who's bragging? So
everything moves at a snail's pace is what she's saying.
I mean, the idea that it could take months to get a product in-house. And if we run out, like, you know, if you don't plan ahead, it's going to be several more months before you get it back in stock. It's just, it boggles the mind. But that is the process. It just really does take that long. And I think customers don't understand when something's sold out, they want more right away because they're used to fast fashion. And it doesn't work that way. You know? And then to be able to provide that sooner when it does run out requires a lot of money.
And the thing around money is, well, a couple of things. Some interesting data for you that love data. So that 2% of women-owned businesses ever make more than $1 million a year, and only 4% of women of companies that receive venture capital funding, only 4% are female-owned. So throw that astounding statistic in there, along with the fact that we're lesbians making underwear, when the most of people
VCs,
sitting,
you know,
or any funders out there are primarily men, and they think there's nothing wrong with Victoria's Secret. So the fundraising side of it was incredibly long and arduous and frustrating, but at the same time, today 90% of our investors are female, and we have a great rapport and relationship with them. So I think that that's one of the hardest things. We're actually leaving tomorrow to go down to Palm Springs because I was chosen as one of the CEOs for the Ernst & Young Winning Women Entrepreneur Program. And so they're paying for both of us to fly down and attend this incredible week-long conference. And their sole purpose is to help female-owned companies scale. And so we're in a world that is trying to address some of the inequities that are around gender. And so we're pretty excited about that, but that was really surprising at how off-kilter that is. Oh yeah, we do. We've had mentors. There was this one guy that he's still with us as an advisor, and he started with us, 4 years ago, and he used to run operations and CTO for like Land's End and Tommy Bahama, and he has been an incredible. He like would come and move when we'd have to move our warehouse. He'd just come in and do it. And we have a lot of support from men that not only write checks but help out in other ways. So yeah, absolutely.
If we have negative feedback, it's usually just around the price point. And again, people just don't understand how expensive it is to run a business, pay wages, and use fabrics that are eco-friendly and processes that are eco-friendly. It
and
all
work
costs
with
money.
Factories that don't gouge people. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you also have to buy fabrics at a much lower amount than a Walmart or, you know, some other
Big box store.
You know, Fruit of the Loom might buy or something like that. So there's massive cost savings buying in such huge volumes. And we just can't do that.
Yeah.
Donate a lot. It's whether it's via goods or, you know, recently for the hurricane in Puerto Rico, we were able to raise $10,000.
And in Houston.
And
we sent some underwear. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, we are constantly helping raise money towards causes or donating towards to charitable organizations.
Bringing interns in and sponsoring people for different programs.
So this year alone, we're well over $50,000 in donations
that we've given.
Not that we've taken. To be able to afford to do gender neutral clothing for kids. It's a very expensive thing, and it's usually a loss leader for most businesses that do it. So we can't afford to take that loss. But I think there's a huge opportunity there.
Yeah, and I think we'll get there. I think that the direction of the company and the product that we're adding, we're learning and exploring new things all the time. So there's more to come.
We have about 350 products right now, but
unique.
But the SKU count is pretty high because they go from extra small to 4X. So
45 different countries now, without doing any real outreach. So people are finding us. We know that this is a global opportunity.
We ship to Lithuania. I mean, I don't know how someone from Lithuania would have heard of us, but I do think that the name Tomboy is universal, and it's a natural curiosity point of search. And so I think we we picked the right name.
And I think that we're timely in that our brand is resonating when there's so much negativity and divisiveness that's happening in this country and around the world, that it's great to be part of kind of a more positive movement that is about inclusivity, that it's about celebrating people for who they are,
And empowerment.
So that to me is something that is historically we're hoping create some positive change. So when we were working with our branding agency who came in, we relaunched in July of 2016. Should go on your timeline. So we did a rebrand with the July and where we came out with a new look and feel, new logo. And so when we were working with them, we mentioned we spent a lot of time talking about the fact that we wanted to be all inclusive again around gender and gender neutral, and bringing in, taking sex out of underwear. And so we created the X equal logo as an alternative non-word logo that we are hoping we will become known for is our X equal, so that and the way we believe, the short version is, what is your X equal? And so that is what the brand represents. And we have a campaign going, Live the X. And so it's just kind of embracing that. I mean, X has been used. X means so many things. It means good. It means bad. It means just anything. So really, what is your X equal? And that's we think it's a cool logo. It's not exactly equal. It's a little off because we're not all equal yet. And so there's a lot of meaning and a lot of thought that went into that particular logo. The equal sign itself is not perfectly parallel. Yeah. So, I mean, it's got a dip in it.
I had a customer that bought the X equal t-shirt once and wrote in and was like, I need to return this. It seems like your screen printer might have had a mistake happen during the printing process. It's not equal. But yeah.
Yeah, we try to be all inclusive, and it's a challenge because we don't pay any models to speak of. I think $50 now or something
For fit
for fit models, right? So really, our art director goes out and finds people that are living the X and that are representative of us. She just recently did a really cool. On our blog, you can see that she did a really cool shoot with some disabled rowers that get out on the sculls and row. And so just really like telling stories about people living their lives in a powerful way. We intentionally chose not to show our underwear on the body because, again, we don't want to be about being sexy and that, the whole like the Calvin Klein thing where the men are always doing something really powerful in their underwear and the women are always lying on a bed. So
I think, and I want to clarify that on the product pages we don't, but on social media.
Well, on social media, it's all user-generated content, except for the blogs. We will go out and do some shoots and show people doing different things. But and we are breaking from that mold a little bit more recently. It's a real challenge marketing wise to be a gender neutral underwear company because people are it's just so ingrained in our minds that it's either boy or girl. So we think, it's going to take some time. We have a lot of male customers. We have a lot of trans customers. We have, it just really across the spectrum. And so we're trying to be all inclusive. I wouldn't say that we're exclusive. It's not like we sit around and talk about who we shouldn't shoot. It's where we can find someone to tell the next cool story about.